So these are the lens from the Craftsman lawn tractor, and both of these are broken. And I was cleaning these with some Zap citrus degreaser, you know, just getting all the crud off of the lens. They were totally covered inside with dirt, and this is just Zap citrus degreaser that I put 2 ounces in this, and I fill it with water, and just wiping this with a rag took their chrome coating off. So I got myself a chrome paint spray, but before I paint these, as you can see, most of the coating is gone. It just literally wiped off. So before I go ahead and recoat these with a chrome spray, I'll show you that in the video too. I went ahead and I got some GB. I use this stuff all the time. This is Plastic Bonder by JB Weld. I prefer the Loctite brand, but this is JB Weld's one. And if you look, this is for automotive body panels. And its set time is 15 minutes. They actually have one that's even faster. I think Loctite does. And then you can send this in 30 minutes. This is really good stuff. And what it does is it puts, you take the cap off and you put the desired amount that you'll need. Always put a bit more than you think you'll need. I usually use like a milk jug cap or a juice jug cap. And I put in the appropriate amount, and I use a popsicle stick or craft stick. I have a big box of craft sticks. I just stir it up. And then to prepare the area that you're going to apply it to, I use some sandpaper or emery cloth. So I use a piece of sandpaper like this. And then I sanded the broken area here. See this? So this had a crack across here. And I sanded it, and I applied the epoxy. Just use the popsicle stick that you stirred it with to apply the epoxy. It runs around a bit. It'll run in different directions, and you just keep tilting it for the 10-15 minutes it takes for it to set. And then after 15 minutes, it won't run around on you anymore. So the break on this guy is right in the seam, as like the glue ran, but that's where it broke, right in that seam. So I put epoxy on both sides, and now you can even see the crack yet in the photo when it zooms to correct or when it focuses. So I glued that. It's been drying for 12 hours. So I'm gonna go out. I'll take it out and we'll spray paint it with chrome, with some Krylon paint, chrome colored, and we'll get this back to the reflective state I was in. This one you can see broke here, and you can still buy these parts. They're $49.99 a piece. Well, I'm going to spend $7 on a Krylon spray of chrome. If you had a spray can of chrome already, you wouldn't need to buy one. And then some epoxy. I mean, like 50 cents worth of epoxy. And then I'll save myself about $95. Maybe I'll save myself $90 at the most. But yeah, stuff like this is easy to do. I enjoy it. I bring it into the dinner table after supper and clean it up, sand it, and glue it overnight. Let it dry overnight. That you can see that one was broken there. So I got them both glued, and I'm ready to take them out and chrome plate them so they can dry till tomorrow. But you can do this stuff. It's pretty easy. It's fun. Just sit at the kitchen table with your headlight on your forehead and see what you're doing, and get yourself a craft stick or popsicle stick and a empty juice or milk jug lid, and yeah, it's fun stuff. So we got our lens all glued with epoxy last night, and I showed you that we got them all epoxied, and we got ourselves some Rust-Oleum chrome. And let's see here if I can show you what the color of this is. According to the lid, it's chrome. Yeah, bright coat chrome it's called. We got this at the old Walmart, and this is a $7 spray can, and I got it shaking here for several minutes. We got these nice and clean, so we're gonna pop the lid off of this thing and see if I can do that without dropping anything. Let's see if we can get that off. It's got a nice tip. I like it when they use a real tip on these instead of the cheap ones. So when you're doing stuff like that, you want it to be super clean. These have been cleaned with brake cleaner. You should actually use starting fluid, because starting fluid I don't think it doesn't leave as much of a film as brake fluid. But judging what was in these, that the coating from the factory just wiped off, I think we'll be good. So I'm going to go ahead and get these all sprayed in, and we'll flip them over. So I'll spray everything from this side that I see, just a light coat, and then we'll flip them over and do the other side. But first I'm going to spritz the tube, whatever is in the tube of the spray can. I usually spray that into the waste basket, so as not to use that for painting. Because it's probably something so the straw doesn't clog in this, because this is a brand new tube. I typically just spray it either outside or into the waste basket. But don't put it on the part. I wouldn't anyway. It's my recommendation. So you just want to do passes, and you don't want to do it too heavily when you're just starting. Just do spritzy. Passes, because you'll get runs. If you do too thick and slow, you'll get runs. You're better off to do thin coats and do multiple coats. That way you don't get it all runny and full of runs from the paint from being too thick. So that's how I typically do it. It looks good. I mean, right now this looks really good. So we'll let this cure for a few minutes, and then we'll give it another coat, and we'll let it cure again and do a few more. So do the ends. Do it really gently. And then once we're done with the inside that we actually see, then we can do the back of it if we feel compelled to. But I wouldn't do too heavy. It's really good. This is a lens after all. And you don't want too heavy of a coat on there. Otherwise we get run. So here you can see my glue. This is not a run. This is the glue I use for gluing it. So these are, like I said, these are like $49.99. So this is $100 worth of lens. And you don't have to. Just put on some epoxy. It was a nice clean break. And we sanded it and got our glue last night. Now we're painting. So I'll come back in 15 minutes or so and we'll give it another coat. I'm not sure I'll show you all the coats I do. I might show you the last one. I'll show you the final coat that we do, so to show you the result of what we did.